Hey guys, welcome to the video. So till now we have completed 3 topics in Python for data science series that are installation of Python, data types and operations in Python. In this video we are going to discuss the input and output in Python. Input and output is a very easy and simple topic, but it plays a very important role in learning the whole Python. And hence we will be discussing all the important topics in this today's video. Before discussing the types of input and output statement, we will be looking at some basics. As we know, the purpose of a computer is to take data as input, process the data, and provide the results as output. To provide the input to the computer, Python provides some statements which are called input statements. Similarly, to display the output, there are output statements. Now we will be discussing the input and output statements one by one. First, we'll be discussing the output statements. For displaying the output on screen, Python provides a function called print function. This function can be used in different formats. The first one here is print statement. When print function is called simply, it will throw the cursor in the next line. It means that a blank line will be displayed. The second format here is print string statement. When a string is passed to the print function, the string is displayed as it is. We can use escape sequence characters inside the print function, such as \n is used to print the statement in a new line. The third format here is the print variable list statement. We can also display the values of the variables using print function. The values in the output are separated by a space by default. To separate the output with a comma, we should use sep attribute. Sep here represents separator. Each print function throws the cursor into the next line after displaying the output. We can ask the print function not to throw the cursor in the next line, but display the cursor in the same line. This is done using the end attribute. The way we can use it is assigning the end attribute characters, which indicates the ending characters for the line. And in case we want to give a tab space after each output, then we will put the \t, which is another escape sequence character in the end attribute. The fourth format here is print object state. We can pass objects like lists, tuples, and dictionaries to the print function to display the elements of those objects. The fifth format here will be the print string variable list statement. The most common use of the print function is to use the string along with the variables inside the print function. In this, we print the output with the statement so that the user understands it better. The sixth format in this would be the print formatted string statement. In this, the output displayed by the print function will be formatted as we like. The special operator % can be used for this purpose. In a formatted string, we can use %i or %d to represent decimal integer numbers. We can use %f to represent float values. Similarly, we can use %s to represent string values and %c to represent a single character value. When we use %20s, it will allot 20 spaces and the string will be displayed rightly aligned to those spaces. To display floating point values, we can use %f in the formatted string. If we use %8.2f, then the float value is displayed in 8 spaces and within these spaces, a decimal point and next to fraction digits. Inside the formatted string, we can use replacement field, which is denoted by the pair of curly braces. We can mention names or indexes in these replacement fields. These names or indexes represent the order of the values. After the formatted string, we should write number operator and then format method where we should mention the values to be displayed. We can also use the curly braces without mentioning indexes or names. In this case, those braces will assume the value of the variables in the order as they were given. Now we are going to discuss the input statements in Python. So to accept input from the keyboard or the user, Python provides the input function. This function takes input from the keyboard and returns to the interpreter as a string. It is better to display a message to the user so that the user understands what to enter. This can be done by writing a simple message inside the input function. Once the user enters the input, it is stored in the allocated variable in the string format, and after it can be converted into any other data type like int, float, etc. by using typecasting functions, or we can change the data type while taking the input by putting both the functions simultaneously in the same statement. For example, we can enter two integer numbers so that we can get the sum through the input function, it gets stored as a string. Now for adding both the numbers, we will have to convert them into int data type so that the addition operator works on them. So this was all for the input and output statements in Python. So now the tip for today is escape sequence characters. Escape sequence characters in Python are the special characters used inside the string to represent the things that are difficult or impossible to type directly, like a new line, tab or quotes. For example, we cannot instruct the Python interpreter to break the string and jump into a new line, and so these characters are used. So that was all for the part of our Python for data science series. In the next part, we will be covering the control statements in Python. Till then, keep learning, keep applying and keep building.